this is kind of a fun one. Kevin in Kingsport, Tennessee. Hey, Mary Kay, pick the top 3 things that will make or break the Browns season this year. Quarterback play exempt. So here's what he throws out: coaching, culture, player development, scheme. He says injuries. I'm actually going to take injuries out because that's always kind of a given too. Play calling, schedule. So again, that's coaching, culture, player development, scheme, play calling, and schedule. We got to pick 3 of them. And
All right.
no quarterback play, and I'm calling an audible and taking injuries out of the mix.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go coaching. I'm gonna go with
Okay.
coaching. If we can't have some of these other things, I think coaching is going to loom very large because Kevin Stefanski has got to know how to call the right kind of a game for Deshaun Watson. He has to maximize Deshaun Watson's skill set, and he has to bring it all together. Because what do we know about this football team right now? On paper, it's looking really darn good, isn't it? I mean, it's really starting to come together very nicely on paper. They pretty much have everything that they need, and there are certain positions that we can say with some conviction that are among the best in the NFL. And so I think they have exactly what they need to make the playoffs and go deep into the playoffs, but it has to be coached up well. So I'm going to put that number 1. And then it kind of goes along with scheme, but I'm going to say scheme. I think scheme is important. I think scheme is really important. And
that can count for defense too.
Yes.
Like how this defensive scheme works.
Yes, offense and defense. And we know that they're going to play, defensively. We know a lot of things already about Jim Schwartz's defense. We know that they're going to be very attack minded up front. We know that they're going to play a lot more man in the back end. We know that they're going to play more of like a wide 9 kind of an alignment with the ends lined up wide, one or both ends lined up wide at times. But they're going to attack a lot more. And I think that's going to be good and interesting. So I think the schemes are important. And again, offensively, it's going to be important to see how they manage all these pieces and parts. Are they going to play a lot of 3 wides? Are they going to play 4 wides? Are they going to change up the tempo? Are they going to let Deshaun Watson, run a lot more no huddle? And, what are they going to do schematically? I do think that's important. And I think then, and I think play calling kind of goes along with coaching and scheme.
I think so too.
Yeah. So that's 2. Those are all kind of getting a little close. The schedule is right about in the middle of the pack. So I don't think that that's enough to shift the balance of power either way. It's not like they've got the easiest schedule or the hardest. So the schedule kind of is what it is. So I'm going to say culture. I think that they need that camaraderie. I think they need tremendous leadership. I've talked to a lot of players that have gone to the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl, and they always talk about veteran leadership is vitally important. You got to be able to hold the team together. You've got to have guys. Last year, when guys were complaining on defense, you got to have somebody that's going to step in there and nip that in the bud. I think they've got guys this year that are going to be able to do that. You've got to have a winning attitude. I think guys like Juan Thornhill bring that. I think there are other guys on offense and defense that know that and understand that. And I just think it's just got to be a championship mindset. I really do. And I think that culture is going to be 100% imperative.
Okay, I'm glad you put culture on the list. I thought you might, because I agree. I think, we were around it last year, and it was just, when the defense was falling apart, you had guys kind of, complaining behind the scenes, and just, you had the Jadeveon Clowney situation that was stewing all season long. And it was just, you can't have stuff like that. You've got to be able to hold together and have each other's backs. And it's not always going to be great, and not everybody's going to be happy, but you've got to manage to kind of keep that stuff in house, keep that stuff under control, and everybody get in line and do your job. That's what Bill Belichick's been so good at over the years. And I think that's just really been lacking with this team for all these years when they've had expectations. When you kind of think back on those seasons, you kind of look at the culture and you're like, was that right? Was the culture where it needed to be on top of everything else? And I think that's really important in the NFL.
I think so too. And I think some of the players that they have